Okay. This morning I am tying the Mad Shad roundhead. Good morning. This here's a 1/16 ounce. Thank you for the likes. Hey there, Slime Time. How are you doing? No, she's not in here today. Oh, in here. The missus in there. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, okay. No. My wife will be here in a little bit. We have to figure out the barcodes, get them on packages here today. Oh, maybe. Let me see. It shouldn't be picking up all the extra stuff. I know we got cars going by. I'm doing good today, though. We had a tackle store order come in yesterday. I worked till, I don't know, about 7 o'clock, 7:30 yesterday. Well, could be rubbing against my shirt. Well, I got to turn that the notifications off. Could be my heavy breathing too. Hey there, Slater. Got a lot of lures to tie. We don't have that many to tie for the tackle store because it's a really nice, pretty nice size order. I had a lot of it already tied up. And I only have to really tie about a dozen or two. We had everything already pre-tied, ready to go out tomorrow. I'm doing good. I'm having a pretty good day. Slept in a little bit this morning. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. This one here is the Mad Shad. This is the 1/16 ounce. Yeah, my wife will be here in a little bit. She has to pick up the laptop, and we got to get business cards reordered. We haven't ordered business cards in years, but we're kind of running out. We're going to be in Pryor, Oklahoma here in about a week and a half. We've got a tackle show to do. Oh, well, thank you there. How's it going, Derek? I'm having a pretty good day. There's no football today. Next week's the Super Bowl. You can hear a lot going on today. Got the roosters in the background. Hey, Wayman, how's it going there? Good morning, everybody. Yep. I'm doing pretty good, though. Three trout this morning. That's pretty good, I guess. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Chopping all my chenille. At a 23, that's pretty good. It is a good little rod. I like that rod. Hey, Backdraft, how you doing? Good morning. Break the reels down, yeah. A lot of times I end up with spare parts when I do that. Well, thank you there, Wayman. Oh, let's see. There you go. Backdraft. Backdraft's been watching for a couple of years, I guess. He watches me on TikTok too. Backdraft's a pretty good guy. Hey there, Chuck. How you doing? I'm doing good over here. Just getting a lot of stuff tied up. We got an order yesterday from Tackle Bandit, and it's a pretty nice size order. They're going to be, I guess, in Columbus, Ohio, at that tackle show. They text me yesterday and put in an order, ask if they could pick it up on Monday or Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. I don't have to tie that many for that order. I got 96% of it already tied, if that, 95%, 97%. I'm doing good, though. Any new reels this week? Yep. Hey there, Todd. Good morning. Good morning. Man, it is pretty outside today. It is really nice, and I wonder if we're going to hit 70 today. We're doing good. I think we're going to hit 70 today. I think it's pretty close. It wasn't that cool this morning. It's nice and sunny out there too. We're doing good. How's it up there? Is it cold up there in Wisconsin? '60s yesterday. Friday, almost 80. Oh my goodness, that's really nice and warm there. Oh wow, it snowed again. Oh wow, that's crazy. Dropped to 39 last night. I bet it was that. It didn't seem that warm, that cool last night. There was no frost on the windshields this morning or anything. Behind the necklace here, this necklace was probably made, I'd have to say in the late 70s. This had belonged to my grandfather. I have a lot of family members that work at James Avery's down in Texas. And my uncle was one of the first 4 or 5 employees to work for James Avery. And this was one of the prototype crosses that he made. And he had given it to my grandfather. you know, he basically gave it to his dad. And then I don't know how it got to me, but after my grandfather passed away, the necklace got to me. But this is the only one in this size that was ever made. They do make these cut now crosses still, but they don't make them this size. They ended up going with a smaller one. Hey, Remington. But I've had aunts and uncles and cousins, and still today, my stepmom, she works at Avery's. She'd been there for almost 40 years. My uncle went ahead and retired, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years ago. They do have a James Avery's up here in Tulsa, but their main, if you want to call it jewelry shop, factory, whatever you want to call it, is basically in my hometown. I have classmates that I graduated with that, you know, a lot of them have worked there. A lot of times, if we take the kids down to Texas with us, I call her my mom, but she's my stepmom, but you know, she's my mom too. But she'll take the kids down to go pick out whatever they want. She gets a really good discount. This here is the Mad Shad. This is their #3 best-selling lure. I got to make a few more of these. I got to work on a tackle store order. I mean, this is what I'm working on right now, but I'm building up extra jigs because I don't want to be empty on the wall. But we had Tackle Bandit ordered. I say they ordered probably, I don't know, maybe 150, 200 packs of jigs yesterday. I can't wait to try that Mad Shad out. Oh, hey there, Dalton. Yeah, it's a good color. And when it gets wet, it looks really nice too. All of our jigs with flashing and all that, they look pretty when they're not wet, but once they get wet, it just, you know, something about that water brings out the color and blends all the colors together. Yeah, you guys welcome Backdraft in here. He's one of the TikTokers that followed us over here. Super good guy. Once they get wet, they look phenomenal. Yeah, that just all comes together really, just blends really nice. Got a lot of lures to make today. Holy mighty. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go. I know it's not fully back. I know people are cheering about that TikTok's back, and it's not all the way back, you know. They don't have the app, you know, in the Play Store or the iPhone store. I think they're still trying to figure out what to do with it. I tell you what, it's I would say it's a necessity because you find news on TikTok before, or sometimes you don't even find the news they're showing you on TikTok for some of the people that are newscasters on there. You won't see it on the regular news. That's been one of the things that I really like about it is they'll talk about stuff and they'll show video footage of things going on that none of the regular news channels will show. Where's my hackle pliers? I lost my hackle pliers. Oh, there it is. Yeah, if you go to like a laptop or on your phone, I don't know if on your phone you could turn it into to like desktop version. And if you search, if you do a search on on whatever search engine you're on, and you go to basically TikTok's website instead of the app, you can download coins that way. Yeah, it'll still let you download. I did it the other day just to see if it would work. The problem I have with TikTok is the dumb stuff people post that have no meaning. They make so much money, but for businesses like us, we can't. Yeah, I mean it's true. I mean it's a lot of people are entertainers out there, and I mean I have friends of mine that when I say friends, it's like we follow each other back on TikTok. I have friends of mine that have like 1.5 million followers, and some of them just do news. That's all they do. I mean, some of them are people that are on the radio, on TV, that we follow each other back. And I don't know why they followed me, but I followed them, and some of them are really really nice people. Oh, thank you there, Dalton. I appreciate that. Yep. And some of them are really nice people, but some of them are bringing in, I mean, we're talking by the week, they're bringing in anywhere from, 5,000, 10,000 a week. But it's just content people want to see. And then, then there's knuckleheads on there that, you don't know, they just do goofy stuff. And I guess people like watching it, I guess. But I haven't got monetized on TikTok to where if I show videos, I get paid off of it. Here I am. I'm starting to get a little bit of revenue coming from people watching our videos. Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of them do struggle. We struggle a little bit. We're not as bad or desperate as some of the other people are. I would be okay if business wise if I didn't have TikTok or YouTube, but it does help out business wise. It helps to connect with customers and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a bunch of nonsense out there. There's a bunch of people. There's people out there that are doing stuff that other people wouldn't do. People like me that I have too much of a, how would I say? Oh, I have too much. I don't know what you call it. It's not a fear of doing stuff. It's just integrity, I guess you want to call it that. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there making millions with social media, but they're willing to do stuff other people won't do, which is kind of awful in some ways, because it, kind of lends to them prostituting. Oh my goodness, thank you a bunch. Oh golly, I didn't even see that. Oh my goodness, Dalton. Yeah. Oh, you guys make sure to pick up Dalton there. I would never have heard of you had I never watched. Yeah, and that's the way with us. It's just getting out there. Jake Paul can't stand the dude, yeah, but he's doing stuff. I mean, back, how'd I say? There's people out there that are just famous for being famous. They have no contribution to the world other than intrigue and entertainment, Yeah, we do appreciate you, Chuck. But I know fellow bait makers that they and I've had some call me and ask, how do you get so many viewers and people watching? And it's like, I don't know. I'm just genuine, and I, and I'm not trying to be cruel to them by any means when I say this. I said it helps to have a gimmick, I guess, and I don't really have a gimmick. I'm just doing what I do, and I guess that's the gimmick in itself. I just happen to be a pretty good lure maker, and I happen to be pretty fast at it too, And I say that with all humility. I don't say that with bragging or anything, but I've been on people's lives to where they will sit there and talk to everybody, and it's more about their friendships is great. I can be friends and do business at the same time, but they'll sit there, and if you go to their live stream, all they're doing is they're taking 30 minutes to make one lure, and meantime you see more of you get more silence than anything else. Oh, that'll be good. The thing is, and again, slime time, there's a bunch of people that have the same feeling, and in some regards I do have the same feeling in some regards, but it's like, with what you're doing, is it worth watching? And that's a question I've kind of brought up to one of the lure makers. My wife had always said something like, uh, and one of the things I can't stand is watching myself on video or listening to me. It's just one of them things I just don't like doing. But if you're going to be a really good podcaster, live streamer, entertainer, whatever it be, you got to have some kind of a knack to talk to the people and have some kind of rapport. That's the word I'm looking for. The rapport. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is tough. When I first started going live here on YouTube months ago, we're talking 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I was lucky if I could get 3 people in the first hour watching. I had another person who's, and again, I'm not going to say their name, but they started going live here on YouTube recently. And he's like, Ruben, he goes, I was watching your live the other day. You had almost 300 people on the live, and which is true. Well, I was painting heads, and we had almost 300 people while I was painting heads. And he says, and I watch you on TikTok, and you got 1,000. I think I had like 1,200 people one day this last week watching me. And I said, yeah. I said, but do you know how many people came through the channel on TikTok? We had almost 200,000 people come through the channel. they may have watched for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and we only captured, 1,100 or 1,000. I think Remington was watching too. I don't know if he was on the live that night. But I just said, you know, do you have something that's, and that's the thing. Do you have something that's worth watching, Yeah. Yeah. First hour's hard. Yeah. When I first started going live here, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been on here 35 minutes and we've had one person come in here, and it's like, I can go to TikTok and go live on TikTok and have 200 or 300 people within the first 5 minutes. Of course it's going to slim down to 50 or 100 or 200, but sometimes there's always that chance that you get, the 1,000 people, But there've been so many times I watch bait makers on TikTok, YouTube, Clapper, whatever it be, and they spend more time talking than they do tying. And that's a thing, with Brian. I noticed with Brian and I have in common, and Brian and I, we talk on the phone every so often, is we got work to do. We have work to do, and our work happens to be making lures, I see so often you have bait makers, whether they pump plastic or tie lures, they, they kind of just leave that craft alone and they start doing all kinds of other stuff. They start getting into battles on TikTok or whatever, channel they're on. But, to me, it's all about this here. This is what's made me somewhat, a little bit famous, I guess. And it's always about the product, and I'm very fortunate that I get to come on here and get to talk to people and do stuff, And again, I have no recipe for what works and what doesn't. What works for me is I get to talk to people, and I try to follow questions, and some people don't realize I am dyslexic in real life. Sometimes words come out backwards and letters are all over the screen and numbers and stuff. And that's why Stephanie handles the checkbook, because sometimes I'll write stuff backwards, but it's just, having a connection with your audience. It's tough trying to get that audience too. It is tough. But it's just, doing the best what you can and with what you got. And I see Crappie Man puts these nice videos, and I tell you what, he's a lot better at editing videos than I am. I'm terrible at editing. Yeah. Yeah. Are you Slime Time? I don't know. I do know I subscribe to you. I really need to look at your videos and stuff like that. I do apologize for not paying attention and stuff, and I'll try to make sure I come in and look at videos and stuff. People complain I don't do anything on my lives, but they don't come in till an hour and I'm done. Yeah, that stuff happens all the time. Yeah, it does. Went live earlier this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I am busy. I get especially, and I don't get it as much with YouTube, but I get it a lot with TikTok. I get people probably 5 times a day sending me messages. Am I going to go fishing today? Am I going to go fishing? And during this time of year when it's colder, and during this time of year when there's tackle shows going on, I don't get to go fishing as often, which kind of stinks. But the times I do get to go fishing a lot is during the summer when it's slow business, but they started acting weird. Yeah, that happens all the time. There was a time on, and this is a while back. there was a time on TikTok where some of the bait makers wanted me to join their group, and it was probably about a group of 15, 20 people. And I had more followers than they did. And so they wanted me to push and get people to follow them and stuff, which I do that anyway. On TikTok, that's what I do. If you throw out gifts, I try to get people to follow you. I'll pin you up to the top, and it's just a nice gesture, and it's a courtesy on TikTok, and it's easy to follow everybody back because you just click on their profile and you choose whether or not you want to follow them back. So, but anyhow, they wanted me to go by a schedule, and this again, it's about 15, 20 bait makers. They wanted me to join their group, and they were going to tell me, oh, you can go live, Ruben, from like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, and then so-and-so is going to go live, and so-and-so. I'm like, no, I go live all the time. I go live about 4 to 6 hours a day. I've been around them maybe 3 weeks so far. There's been a few. Yeah, sometimes that happens too. Yep. Try to schedule your lives. I know that helps be consistent. Yep. I know Ruben will be on after wake up. Yeah, and that's what I try to do. I try to go live sometime between 7 a.m. and I'm Central Time Zone, by the way. Between 7 and 9, I'll try to start my live sometime during that time. And a lot of it is just, and I have a big wide time frame because I never know when I wake up in the morning if I'm going to have 0 orders, 5 orders, or 20 orders. And those orders are more vital and priority to me than turning on my live. So I got a wide 2-hour window, and I try to go live. And now in the last couple of months, I've been trying to go live on YouTube. Sometimes I'll bring in the TikTok audience on my other phone, but I'm trying to make it a priority with YouTube. I like TikTok. I love TikTok. I got over 100 and whatever thousand followers on there. But financially, it's better for me here. It's a lot better for me here. Yeah, I've already made more just, through people watching my videos and stuff, which I never made any money, people watching videos on TikTok. But here, it's just a long-term investment. I don't know what to say. It's just the other day when I had like 11 or 1,200 people on the live, I probably made, I think it was 27 cents. That's how much I made. And I had over 1,000 people watching me at one point, which, I don't thrive on that. Again, I don't pander or towards gifts and stuff like that. I'm very fortunate to get them, but I don't try to hook people in and try to, throw gifts at me, put it that way. I get what I get, and I'm just happy to get it. I'm happy to be here. But you watch other people's lives, and they're trying to milk everybody out of their money. I'm not that guy. I'm not a smooth talker like they are, and second of all, I'm not as good looking as they are either. And so, I got what I got. I got what I have to work with. Yeah, I mean, I do reach a lot of people, and that's the thing that you do get on TikTok. Hey there, Oliver. And that's the one thing you get on TikTok that you don't get here is that the algorithm there. The algorithm there, it is just nuts. It's crazy. You got a lot of people on TikTok with attention deficit disorders, and they can't watch 2 to 5 seconds. They're flipping channels, and then the FYP. If you load up videos on TikTok for people to watch, you get a lot more people watching you because of the FYP, which is for your page. What happens is the more videos you put out, the more quality videos that people are liking and commenting and stuff, the more attention you're going to start receiving. And I don't know if it's that way with here, but it's not set up the way that TikTok is, you know. Hey there, David. When I can't watch live, I can always watch later time, usually around midnight. Yeah, that's the one thing that we have here on YouTube that they don't have over there, is this whole live. When I get off my live, if I don't do anything with it, it'll automatically load up and somebody could watch this video tomorrow, you know. And that's the thing you don't have on TikTok. On TikTok, you get done with your live and you could choose to download it, but there's no way that you can get it out there for people to watch your whole live stream. Here it's that way. And here and you can do snippets of your lives and make videos with that. And I think here on YouTube it's a little easier. Here on YouTube, they'll take clips, and and you could post your clips up too. Yeah, that's the thing you got to watch out. There's a lot of people that are that way. There's people out there that they do a lot of rude and crude talking. You know, they talk that way. I have no problem with people cussing and stuff. I don't cuss, but there's people that do that. It's the part where they start getting vulgar and they start getting perverted. That's the part that I have issues with, or they start throwing innuendos out there that have a sexual nature to them. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm with you there, Derek. Hey there, kid. Perfect. How you doing? But I'm pretty easy going with my lives. I don't really, you know, get upset and you know, it's not too easy to upset me, I guess. I mean, I know if somebody puts a comment out there, um, I don't really make much of it unless it's just outright, you know, ludicrous, you know, of a comment that they throw out there. But most of the time, it's like, people have bad days at work. It's auto correct sometimes messes, you know, up people's comments. Sometimes you don't get when people are texting in the tone that they're trying to get you know, the message through. I think that's why no one cares because I refuse to let my business page. Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I'm kind of. I do. This is my business page. You know, this is my only account that I have here, and so you know, I like hanging out and doing stuff, but I got a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of work to do, and like I say so many times, you guys get to watch me work. This is what I'm doing. You guys are watching someone work. Created me Facebook after not having one for 9 years. Wow. I'm going to post some pictures. Yeah, do that. Dalton, when did you do that with Facebook? And make sure you follow me, follow Ruben Flores Jigs. And then also follow me, you know, personal wise, Ruben Flores. And on my profile, there'll be a picture of my family, like from a distance. No, I cannot tie a stonefly. No, I don't know how to tie a stonefly. This is what I do. This is what I make my money on. This keeps me busy year round. I wish I could make a stonefly. The only stonefly I can make is if I go outside and I pick up a stone and I just throw it up in the air and make it fly. That's the only stonefly I can make. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll take a look. All right. See pages like you, Ruben, and team. Hard life. They're calm. Yeah, I hope I don't act like a fool. Sometimes I get giggly or whatever, but that's about the most I do. Um, Ruben's a goat. Nah, I don't know if say that. You got a goat to you. I don't know about the goat. I do okay. I do okay. I've been I've been given accolades by certain magazines and certain fishermen, and and which is good. But I have a really good wife that keeps my feet on the ground, and so she she knows that I can be arrogant and stuff like that, and uh, and I try not to because I don't want to hurt anybody. But the old Ruben from years ago is super arrogant, big headed, you know, and there's a trace of that still left in me, but not to the extent. I know one day you could be, you know, you could be in the top position, you could be number one in everybody's eyes, and within a drop of a hat, you could be everybody's most hated person in the world. Yeah, I know. The greatest of all time. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, just again, I'm happy to be here, and I know there's going to be people um, that are younger that are probably going to do a whole lot more for crappie fishing and jig tying and stuff. But I enjoy doing what I do, and it's fun. And I got into this by accident. A literal accident at work where if I wouldn't have never had that accident at work, I would never be tying jigs. There'd be no telling what I'd be doing. And at the time, I needed to do what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'd be doing if I would have never had an accident. I'd probably maybe still be working for that company or whatever. I don't know. You know. Oh yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, let me see how many of these I needed to make because I'm gonna try to get this order all complete. My wife's gonna be here sometime in the next hour or two. We have to make barcodes for to put on the back of our packages. We have no barcodes, so we're going to put barcodes on the back of our packages here. These lures are probably going to be in Columbus, Ohio. So if anybody's in Columbus, Ohio next weekend for the tackle show, make sure to go to Tackle Bandit's booth, and you'll find our lures there. When did you start first ever tying? I tied lures when I was a kid, like a teenager, but nothing like how I do today. I was just trying to make some kind of fishing lure. But, um, you know, with that set aside, I got hurt back in 2010. And so I started tying towards the end of 2010. I couldn't go fishing. I couldn't go bass fishing or catfishing because I couldn't get my hands over my head. And still, this one here, my right one, is really bad still. But I've had a couple of shoulder surgeries on both sides. And during that time I was off work, I started crappie fishing. And just because I couldn't go back to work and I couldn't really do anything. And I always had a side hustle, like, what do you call it? Doing oh, parties and stuff, catering. I did catering and stuff, and I also would make tamales and stuff, and take tamale orders. Um, and so I started going crappie fishing, and started catching crappie, and I started seeing that I didn't the plastics, you know, um, were okay to fish with, but the people that were catching a lot of fish were the people using hand-tied lures. They were using little bitty lures, and I don't have any 1/80ths up here, I don't think, no. But I started using, really teeny tiny lures, and started catching a lot of crappie, and people took notice of that and started wanting to buy our jigs, and then that was, during about an 18-month time, I was catching all these 3-pound crappie, and I caught them in 3 different lakes, in Oologah, and in Claremore, and then in Uchi, up there by Grand, and then some people took notice to that, and more people kept buying jigs. I did go back to work for that company that I got hurt at, and I ended up going into business with a barbecue trailer. And by that time, I was like, man, I have more jig customers that are buying lures that live. I have more jig customers than there are people that actually live in this town. Which at that time we lived in Chelsea, and I think we only had 2,300 people that lived there. And so we had, I think, 7,000 customers by that time. And I thought, well, let's see if we could turn it into a full-time business. And that's what I did. And so I would get on different Facebook groups and do things like that, share things out there. And we had an eBay store, Etsy store. We had a Facebook store at the time too. And then we had a couple of different version websites. And we had all this stuff going on pretty much at the same time. And finally, back in 2018, we went to turning off our Etsy or eBay, and all of our eBay customers, we ended up pushing them over to the website that we have today. We've had this version of our website for, I don't know, since 2018. It's hard to Slime Time when it comes to doing real service. It's hard to do that. The majority of the people that I know, and I'm 58 years old. I don't know how old you are, but the majority of people that I know that do real service either own a tackle store or a marina, and or they build rods. A lot of them, do rod building too. But I wouldn't know how to advertise that. Oh, you're 28? Yeah. So I would not, as far as my advice to you, as far as doing real service, I have no clue at all how to promote that. If it's stuff like lures, restaurants, things that I've been a part of or owned or whatever, I have a little bit of insight. But as far as real service and breaking down reels and all that, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, I have no clue on all how to conquer the reel fixing service. But the only insight I can give you is just from the outside or whatever. I would say, what is on here? Hang on. I would say, do you sell reels? Do you sell used reels? Do you sell brand new reels? I would say you'd probably have to do a couple of different things. I would say get into the wholesaling or buying reels and selling reels, and at the same time do the reel, you know, doing what you're doing now. Basically just, oh yeah. Oh really? Yeah. Hey there, nobody. Let's see. Do you need the cord or anything or no? Okay. That was my wife. She came in the shop. That's her work for the week. So I'm putting these in here. Let me get these. Yeah, I'll take you guys down here. Yeah, she's working on our barcode. She's been working on it all this week, and we need to get this done because Tackle Bandits, they've been on us to try to get barcodes on our packaging. Funny thing is, you got Shields hasn't really ever pushed us to get barcodes, but I know that once we get them, it'll probably be easier for them too. But I wouldn't know what to do as far as how to promote a reel service. Okay, we're going to switch sizes up here in just a little bit. We're going to move on up to a 1/8 ounce. I'm going to try to get all the Gray Ghost and the Odyssey jigs made up. That's what those look like. Okay, let me go put these up here. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get these feathers put up. We're going to get some new feathers out. How did this get over here? Huh, that's crazy. Yeah, I would not. One of the mistakes I've seen some of the other bait makers make, and again, you guys take this for what it's worth, okay? If you fall in line to in this category that I'm talking about, you know, I do apologize. But one of the things that happened, you know, when TikTok was turned off for what is it, a day and a half or whatever it was turned off, was that you had, well, all the way from the like 2 weeks out to the deadline when they were turning off TikTok, you had these people that were bait makers that didn't know what they were going to do. They were all in a panic over that TikTok was about to be turned off or saved. They didn't know, which I didn't know. You know, I had no clue at all. I kind of thought they were still going to save it. But when it went off on that Friday or whatever day it went off, I'm like, okay, you know, I spent the last year trying to build up our YouTube audience a little bit, but, you know, and I've had a choice of going to, you know, going live on YouTube and going live on TikTok. And it's like, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. I guess it's only YouTube for me now, you know, but, for the 2 weeks that was coming up upon that deadline or that cutoff or whatever for TikTok, you had all these bait makers. They had all their eggs in one basket, and one basket meaning they had all their advertising, whatever advertising they ever did. They just did it on TikTok, which doesn't make sense. If YouTube is your only means of advertising, you know, I can almost 100% say you're not doing it right, because there's other avenues and stuff. I'm on, with what I do. I may spend most of my time on TikTok and YouTube, but every day I'm putting out about 40 minutes to an hour advertising on Clapper, Facebook, Favorited, Lemonade, all these different, you have so many avenues to advertise. But if you're just spending all your time on YouTube and that's your only means of advertising, I mean, you're just limiting yourself, you know. The quality is really bad. What are you talking about? Quality. Let's see. Slime. I wonder if it's. Let's see. Oh, I'm pixelated. I don't know if I'm pixelated. Oh, we did come up with the dot. That's pretty cool. Lost my wrench. Yep, I know you did. We don't need to talk about it. If you make a big deal about it, then we'll have to deal with it. Oh, we cleared up. Yeah. So if you're doing all your advertising on YouTube and you're not getting any, you're not getting any notice, or you're not getting any business, it's kind of like back in the dating days. If you keep asking the same girl over and over, will you go with me? Will you go with me? Will you go with me? Can we go eat lunch? Can we go eat lunch? And she keeps telling you no. I mean, you need to go find a different person to ask to go out to lunch. If it's not working for you, you got to try something out. Can I email you? Nobody. You don't need to be a mod for me, okay? We'll just leave it at that. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. You can email me, you can call me, you can drive up to my house, or whatever you want to do, but that's about it. Okay, let's go to the gray ghost. But no, it's just one of them. I mean, I'm not telling you how to run your business, Lime. I'm just saying that, I'm just trying to help you out. I was talking to somebody yesterday about these auctions and stuff like that, and I was talking to a couple of people about how they do their auctions, and there's a person that holds these auctions on TikTok, and they do a really good job at it. And again, then I see these other bait auctions happening, and all they do is joke around. They chum around. There's like 4 or 5 people in the box, and it's just like a bunch of good old friends just hanging out. And then they treat it that way. They don't treat it as a business. Meanwhile, I see this husband and wife team. They do make baits, and they treat it like a business, and they're talking to the people out there. They just treat it more like a business. And man, it just seems every Saturday they do these auctions. They're selling like 50 to 100 baits, and they're doing really good, I still think you need a catalog, so we have a checklist. Wyman, I'm done. Oh, thank you there, Scott. Yeah, he just, yeah, he wanted to be a mod, and I made him for a mod for a little bit, and then I heard some stuff, and it's like, we won't make him a mod anymore. But thank you there, Scott. Oh, I see the little hearts. The first time I've ever seen the little hearts and the smiley faces and all that stuff come up. Yeah, it gets to be annoying, if you got your identity wrapped up in being a mod, you need to have a life. I hate saying it like that, but no. But I was watching these people, and I've been watching them for I'd say a good year. They've been doing these auctions on their live streams, and they have a really nice, clean platform. They have one of those little spinning circles display. They put their lure on it, and it spins around real slow. And they're spending time on the bait. And you know what? If nobody buys that bait, oh yeah, yeah. But anyway, if nobody buys that bait, they go on to the next bait, and then they'll come back to that bait. No, I just had heard some things, and I'm not going to get into that with what I heard, this and that. You know what? I just thought, well, if there's that many people that feel that way about that person, and they all have the same connecting story about that person, it's maybe best that I don't have them as a mod. And there's no big deal about that. It just, I just went ahead and went that route. It's no big deal. I'm not confirming what the people said. It's just, we just need to take that mod name off. And if he's welcome to stay in here and watch and stuff, but he's just not going to have the mod name on him, and if a certain period of time went by and everything's cool and he's watching the live and interacting and stuff, we could always put that mod name back. But if he's going to sit there the next 2-3 days like he has, and complain about not having the wrench next to his name, there's something wrong with that, But anyhow, that's that, and I do hope I didn't hurt everybody's feelings in here when I said that. He's in all other channels I told you about. Yeah, we just heard some things, and I didn't want to get, I'm not going to get into that part of it, and I don't want to. Again, I don't know if it's true or not, but I needed to take the wrench off his name. I'm not going to get into the conversations I had with other people that do live streams that had the same comment about that person. Yeah, it's not worth getting an attitude. Again, I just took the wrench off his name. That's all I did. He's still welcome to come in here, and I never got mad. Okay, but yeah, I mean, you don't have to watch in here either if you're standing up. Yeah. Is that who you are? Daily notification? Is that you, nobody? Oh, that's daily notification. Does have a wrench, didn't he? Yep. Okay. Just, anyhow, that's the part I don't really care about, is when something like that happens, it kind of disrupts the live. And I guess maybe they intended for that to happen, to disrupt the live. But, well, yeah, if you guys don't agree with me on it, that's okay. There's no big deal. It's been good being friends with you guys. Oh my goodness. It's not a big deal on my end. And if it's a big deal on you, maybe there's some psychological things going on. You know, that's all I can say. It's not a big deal. These are the saltwater jaws. Yeah, it is tough at times. But again, I'm not too, I don't get into banning everybody and hiding this and that, but Backdraft's been one of my mods, and we're talking like for 3 or 4 years he's been a mod on and off. And you know what? There was a time that I took back, and again, I don't know if Backdraft's a mod for me right now, but Backdraft has been watching for about 3 or 4 years on TikTok. There have been times that he has been a mod, and there's been times that he hasn't been a mod. But never once did Backdraft ever come into my live and start making a big deal about it. You know, and that's I'm going to use Backdraft as an example there, which is Scott. That's Scott right there. And there's been times that Scott's been a mod, and there's been times that Scott hasn't been a mod on my other channel. And never once has I ever heard him complain about anything. And here it is with that person, nobody. And it's only been like not even a week, and he's raising a fuss about it. You know, that just tells you something there. Yeah. And so that just tells you about maturity on people and or lack of maturity on people. Again, just because you're a mod or not doesn't mean that, you know, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you base your life on being a mod, you know, there's something wrong with that. You got my back. Well, thank you there. This one here is the Gray Ghost. This is a 1/8 ounce. Let's see, he's used the other channels, making everyone a mod to sub to everyone's channels. What, I don't know what that means there. He don't act like that in other lives. I've seen him. No idea what his deal. Oh, okay, I see. He's got 3 accounts. Yeah. Now, Slime Time, are you trying to be good for me? Are you trying to butter me up when you say that? I'm just kidding about that, but no. No, it just, again, there are some allegations out there. And again, and it's not just from one person. It's about from 4 or 5 different people, you know, and I'm not going to name them by name. And again, and it's all about just being a mod. It's not like it's a paid position. It's not like there's some great high status about anything like that. I mean, I'm not anybody. I'm not, you know, it's not like I got 4 million followers and and someone could go out there and go, you know what, I mod for this really big guy. His name's Ruben Flores Jigs. No, it's not. I'm just a nobody. You know, and so for him, I thought in the best way I could handle this, because I don't want to defriend him, defriend him. I thought, let's just take the wrench off his name and we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it that way for a little bit. And if he still interacts in the live and all that, and somebody had told me, Ruben, I've been watching you already for about 3 or 4 years, and you never made anybody a mod that fast the way you made him a mod. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, and we'll just see if some of these rumors or whatever, if they're true, okay, we safeguarded the channel here. If it's not true, he could still be a friend, and we could still converse back and forth, and just be that way, and then eventually, make him a mod. Again, I don't make mods without a lot of recommendations and or a lot of how they say, interaction on the lives. Yeah, it's at my show, I'm the boss. Yeah. Yeah, you've been in here for a while, Slime Time, and yeah, right now I think it's going to be about another 10 years till you get to be a mod. No, no, it's that way. I don't make I know I from what I heard here on YouTube, you can make everybody a mod here on YouTube. On TikTok, you only get, at one time it was only 20. You can only have 20 mods. I think it's 30 now. But so you got to pick whatever mods you can, and then Backdraft, he knows there's a lot of drama going on some people's channels on TikTok, and some of the drama happened to have me involved, and part of it was probably self-induced, but part of it was probably on the other person's side too. But in either case, it's not that big of a deal. It's not life-threatening. It's not, wage threatening or anything so again, you only have so many mods over there that you can have. And here, I guess I've seen on somebody's live, there must have been about 80 mods in that person's channel. And anyhow, it's just, I'm still learning how to walk over here on YouTube, Yeah, but it did bug me. I spent a good half of my life without social, media, and again, I think if it all came down to it, if I ever wanted to turn it all off, I could probably turn it all off and walk away from it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm pretty rated PG/G. I'm not. There's hardly any rated R-ness to me. But I when you hear comments, rumors, stuff like that, I just went ahead and just took the wrench off, and just thought, hey, I still want to be friends with them and all that, and if we can still remain friends, that's great. We could probably throw this, the mod thing back on there in the future. Again, I don't, you hear comments and gestures made about certain people, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna say yes, I believe with you 100%, but I'm not gonna excommunicate or basically, I'm not gonna. I don't want to eliminate or alienate that person either, and it's the same way with church. When I was a pastor at a church, we had people like deacons, ushers, and greeters and things like that, and sometimes if something was going on, or there was a rumor of something going on, the Bible always tells us to go to that person first. It's kind of hard to do that on social media. to do that, but I went ahead and just, and so in a church, you go to that person, you kind of, fix things. You can't, if you can. And if the person's in any type of leadership of ministry, whether it be an assistant pastor, youth pastor, music minister, whatever, you go ahead and pull them off of that for a little bit. And and as a pastor, you got to do unpopular things at times, you're a good time. Well, so, yeah. So that's all it was. No big deal with that person, Yeah. I appreciate you guys watching and hanging out. And again, um, I I want to be. I don't want to say I strive to be a good person, and that's not. I don't think. I don't think you got to really strive to be a good person, but either you're a good person or you're not a good person, And and I just hate that someone gets their feelings hurt and stuff like that. I hate hurting people's feelings. Put it that way. But so right now, let's get back up on this lure. I'm going to bring you guys close up in here again. This here is the Gray Ghost. This is one of our top selling lures here. We're going to go up. We're going to go down. Oh my goodness, Dalton, you are just... No, with Dalton, with him being a mod for me, somebody, and not just him, we had a few people make recommendations, and so it's just always good to have people that can help you out and do that for you. I appreciate you. Thank you a bunch. I know, I see that. Do you place the jig in the vise in a slight upward angle, or is it just the angle of the camera? It could be the angle of the camera too. After I tie, hey, remind me on that here in just a bit, Chuck, because there are a lot of different methods with hook placement. If you watch some of these people that tie flies, like fly fishing flies, on their vices, I've seen it on a couple of vices, like in person. When that I've actually seen their vice in person. On some of the vices, you have these little notches that are engraved or in the actual jaws of the vice. And you have a couple of different little grooves that are in the jaws. On the peak vise, there are no little grooves in there. The vise that you're going to be getting in, Chuck, the Coachman vise, there's no little grooves or anything, indentions in the jaws to hold the hook. So when it comes to hook placement, you can almost put the hook however you want to put it in there. I've seen I think on Brian Smith's, the Fly Smith, I could be wrong. He could be watching me right now too, and I wouldn't know it. But I want to say, just from observing his lives and I've seen a couple of his vices that he's used. It seems to me that on a couple of them, they may have the little grooves in the jaws, and then again on a couple of the other vices, the little grooves aren't on those jaws. So you can do this however you want. There's some people, they want to hold a hook up here like this, and a lot of it's however you want to put it. Some people like putting it on there like that. I like putting mine a little bit further down like that. You can put it however you want to put it in there. But you can go upward, you can go level. I try to get mine as level as I can. Sometimes the camera angle, and if I want to get the camera a little more balanced, if I put a bubble level on my camera, it's probably never fully level. I need all the help I get. Yeah, I appreciate everybody in here, guys. Again, thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, you can put it in there however you want. And then I have marks on my vise to get the lengths. On the old vise, the kind of style that vise that you're going to be getting in, Chuck, you're going to have the shaft right down here like this. And there are ways of getting marks on there to get your lures all the same size. But I would say, since you're just beginning to tie, I wouldn't worry too much about the length. I would just eyeball what you do have. Again, it's not like you're making them professionally for stores. I mean, and so the length on it's going to be whatever you want to eyeball. Once you get into tying a little more smoother and you get a little bit more adapt to your to your vise, then you could start probably trying to figure out what exact size. I want to make all my lures the exact same size. And again, I have these marks right up here, and it comes up to on this one here. I keep forgetting on the 16th it comes up to about 2 1/4 on a 16th ounce. Hey there, SV. How are you doing? I apologize for the way I seem to have come off. I'll send you a message. You do not have to respond back sincerely. Somebody really. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I just I try to I try to do things in a loving way. I put and I know that's not right. That's kind of a word you guys may not be familiar with. I try to treat people with love and again, with some of the things that I'd heard, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to eliminate that person. I don't want to do that. And I do believe in second, third chances and stuff. Again, I believe in a lot of chances. I've never been in jail. I've never been in prison. But the 4 or 5 guys I grew up with, every single one of them have probably spent more time in prison than they have out. And I happen to be the oddball person that became the Christian out of the group. And so I do believe in giving, a lot of chances and I do believe in trying to treat people fairly and stuff like that. And so anyway, let's just go on from here, Oh, is he going out? Doing some loading up, gonna head. Oh, good. For some crappie, that'll be awesome. Got working. Yeah, well, good luck out there. I know that you had to get your was that you, Dalton? Somebody was talking yesterday that they were going to go fishing, but they couldn't go fishing because their internet went down, and I think that was you. Yet their internet went down. They had to wait for a service person to come out, and well, I'm glad you're getting ready. You can get out there and go do some fishing. This one here again is the Gray Ghost. This is a 1/8 ounce. Oh yeah, you had the bass tournament going on. Yeah, that is a stinker there when you got boats moving everywhere, and then if you're on the bank fishing and you got these guys in a bass boat, they come creeping up right where you're fishing. That messes you up too. Okay, guys, after this one here, I'm going to take a little break. I got to go refill my drink. And I'm going to go see how my wife's coming along. We're trying to get barcodes on the back of our packs, and we bought a bunch of barcodes. We got a bunch of barcodes that we purchased, and for some reason, they're not transferring to our label. And we do use a Dymo. I think it's a Dymo label maker, and we're trying to get these barcodes put on because we have stores like Tackle Bandit, Nabatac Outdoors, also Shields too. Shields has never bugged us about getting barcodes, but it'd be nice for us to be at a tackle show and for us to zap the back of the pack of lures or jig heads or whatever it be, and that way we could run things and have it be less costly time wise to charge people for their goods. Working on mine now. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. Yep. Alrighty, guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to take a little break, and I'll probably be back here probably in the next couple of hours or so. And we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys have a good day. Goodbye. God bless.